1, 2. Hey folks, how's it going? We've made it to Friday. Hope you've all had a good week. Hey Cobbler, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. Hope you've been keeping well. Panda indeed. Annoyingly, I can't adjust the lighting. Friday. Yeah, I can't adjust the lighting. I've got smart lights, and at the moment they're not so smart. So it's a little bit brighter. Hey Hook, how's your day going? Going quite well indeed. Yeah, it's been a good week at work. Been a good day. And good day generally, yeah. So really happy about that. Let's get everything comfortable. Awesome. I say apologies for the brightness. I can't adjust the room lighting because it's not so smart lights at the moment. But we should deal with it. I'm going to be in the corner of the screen shortly anyway. Now today we are doing some bug squashing. So I put a demo out last week and immediately it was apparent there was quite a few bugs in it, which weren't there when I was testing initially. So we'll see if it's not if they're there in the dev version and somehow I missed them, or they're only present in the compiled version. So we'll see. It's not bad. Looks like I'm about to get my hand on Unity soon. Ooh, awesome. Let's get a little bit of music on the go. Always forget to have a bit of music. You know, a bit of medieval lo-fi. Big fan of lo-fi. Okay, let's the audio on. Let's bring the volume up. I clicked on the other bot and then when that bot's open. Sorry bots, you can go back to sleep again. Cool. We don't need NVIDIA controls either. Hey Alex, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Right, let's switch over to the main screen. Right. So there's a couple of bugs and a couple of improvements. So we'll look at the bugs first. Let's make sure I'm happy with this. Cool, that's all fine on the laptop. Right, music's just quietly in the background. If it's a little too loud, let me know, but it's OBS is saying the level should be nice. Right, we'll just do a straightforward play test on this and see how this works. Show me what's new with the game. Of course. So we're going to options. I've leveled the audio. So the background music was quite loud on the default. But now it's quite comfortable. We're going to turn that down anyway. Let's go continue. We go to continue. We now have a level select. I've put space for up to 8 levels. Well, I've only got 3 levels. So the third level we've been working on recently. So that's works and that's fine. All tested well. And I put together these little coloured screenshots to indicate these levels. And if you try and click on them when they're grey, you won't actually load them up. likewise, you can't click on any of these levels. So we know that works fine. Let's go into level 1. Got this, we go to projectiles. So the first thing there's an issue. I've already got projectiles 2 and 3 unlocked. They're not supposed to be unlocked from the get-go. But that's not a major issue. So we'll complete this level. So level 1, pretty much standard stuff. No issues here. Just gotta take down the sound effects so it's not in your guys' ears. Yeah, so level 1's got to play pretty much as you expect it. Is there a way to smooth out the rotation of the device? So kind of this, you say smooth out the rotation. You mean when it's you mean kind of like the rotation left and right like I am now? Or kind of the animation of it instead of choppy? Oh yeah, I can see the screen looks a bit choppy, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's because I'm applying a set degree of rotation each time. I'll have to have a look at how we can improve that actually. Good point, I've never really paid attention to the background too much. But that's why I need you guys to kind of point stuff out for me. Because I'm sure anyone who's done any form of development, you kind of get blind to the obvious eventually. Yeah, I think that helped to be smooth. Yeah. Yeah, because I can't remember what the actual value is, but it is something like 5. I want to say that's something like 5 degrees every time it loops around. I suppose really what it needs to do is probably I need to look at how I'm doing it, whether I got a delay interval so it doesn't spin too quickly. But I need to reduce the interval and then reduce the degrees it spins so they kind of even out back to the same rotation speed, but the movement's more smoother. That's certainly something I'll look at. Maybe mostly there's a one hardness. Cool. Couple more over this side of it. I purposely left this tree here to make it an obstacle. Also, the holes over the falling pieces. Holes is over the falling pieces, like a layer on instead of beneath. Holes is over the falling pieces. Okay, yeah. So the falling pieces are falling behind the holes. Cool. So I need to kind of get that to need to get the pieces to fall in front of the holes, because the holes are a layer anyway. Yes. I think what I've got, because the falling pieces spawn when the rock hits the building, but then the actual holes are another layer on top. Ah, okay. Is that a crash? Looks like a crash. Why did that stop? What's up? How's it going, bot? Hope you're well. So let's save progress there. Let's get Visual Studio open. Scary name. Quite well, you? I am well indeed, thank you. Glad to hear you're well. So all this game saving stuff should be fine there. Okay. So if level comp does not equal level complete, say that the status has changed, set all active to not level complete, whatever the value is. So that's basically, yeah, showing the UI or hiding the UI, basically, if depending on this. But I want to go through and change some of these Boolean checks for events. I've already gone through and changed a few of them. But that should be an event call rather than a Boolean check. A quite productive day. Opened my game and deleted a bunch of unnecessary files. Open Blender, lost interested, played Lanty. That's fair. Yeah, sometimes motivation will just come and go. Let's be careful when you're deleting a bunch of unnecessary files. In case you delete a file of a coconut and the whole thing breaks. There's something crushed around that, but we don't know what. Yeah, I'll change that to an event call, so it's less overheads. When level is complete, an animation of the owner of the house should be running away from the front door. Deleted almost every file except the player and interaction stuff. How's your game going? So we're looking at all the bugs that were reported and all the improvements. So we're just kind of identifying stuff, but it's been a bit awkward. It was fine. It seemed like it was fine when I created the demo last week. You know, when the building falls down, you see the owner underneath the rubble. So it's the owner's there going, "Ha, help!" Right, so it's nothing obvious at this point, so we'll clear the. I mean, happy main menu seems to work for the moment, at least. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. So go to level 1. What bug you're currently working on? So, let's wait for that to finish loading. It crashes on level 1, which is not a bug that appeared in the demo. Now, whether that's just a one-off bug or not, I do not know. But I did one bug I noticed when I played the demo was the smoke was not activating. I don't know why the smoke didn't activate. Castle holder. So bubble spawner was fine. Smoke holder. Smoke holder did not activate in the demo. Let's have a quick look. How does this activate? So we've got start smoke. So that's kind of all the configuration stuff. Oh yeah, this is what I was working on off stream. I changed the adding listeners, so it basically looks for all the smoke and adds it this way. From reports, did anyone else experience the bug where the controls stopped working in level 2? When I tested the demo, I found that the controls did stop working for myself. Nobody else reported even playing the demo. But yeah, I went through and tested the demo and found, yeah, the controls stopped working in level 2. I have a feeling what it could be, but it works fine in dev. But I'll fix it anyway because it throws like a caution at me. But maybe that caution is a full-on game-breaking bug when it's in production. But we will fix that. I know how to fix that. Well, I know how to find out how to fix it, which is the main thing. Yeah, for some reason this did not trigger in the demo. So this event did not trigger. And the sound did not play either. So I'm wondering whether these for loops did not do what I wanted them to do. I was trying to be clever with these. Yeah, I've experienced what you play in the engine versus executable. Executable can sometimes be completely different. Yeah, it's always worth occasionally compiling to an exe and running it and just seeing how it plays. So, when the first time I did that, I noticed the lighting and was it the lighting and the frame rate was completely different until I read some forums and found that, yeah, there's certain things that render different once it's been compiled. So I changed it and it was fine after that. But these are some new things. So I don't know if these event listeners are being added so we got let's add a log debug dot starting smoke object name. Well, we know the object cast now. We'll leave it in that. That's a good suggestion. So that's good. That was the log that is starting the smoke, and go to definition. I'll put a debug.log in here as well. Watched a video today of someone when the Unity changes happened. Instead of switching engines, they built their own. Changes. They built their own, but it's more like Source. Oh, interesting. I'd love to be able to go that far with building stuff. I've got massive respect for anyone who builds their own game engine. I know you can get the most out of your hardware doing that, and you haven't got the overheads of the engine. But yeah, I'm not that skilled as yet. Right, let's just play level 1. Actually, why is it on the back of my mind? Stop level 1. Let's go to scriptable objects, go to Game values, no, game progress, projectiles. There we go. So untick these two. So these are two boxes that I left ticked. So we've get that sorted. There's a big tick, pun intended. I got a massive 2 user. Is that a massive respect? Yeah, handling dynamic data is seriously hard, especially code. Yeah. Yeah, so you'd like to think code is pretty much going to be pretty static, but there's so much respect. Sorry, kind of right. That's fine. I have to infer what text means, even if it's written correctly. Well, massive respect to you, sir. Thank you. I do appreciate that, Poplar. Right, so one issue out of the way, those tick boxes are no longer ticked. Yeah, leaving values set is once you finish testing is a big issue. Now we can save ourselves a little bit of time. We go to here, and where's it? Yeah, I've got a debug tick box here that just completes the whole section. Okay, so there's no errors there. Go to the console. So the console's just saying castle is collapsing, castle is collapsing, castle is collapsing. Yeah, we've got a little wavy hand man which I made in Blender. Very happy with that. Very simple, but it works. I like the collapsing sound effects. Yeah, I was quite happy about that. But yeah, they didn't play in the demo for some reason. I like how they surrender after they've lost a house. Yeah, at this point, you haven't really got much to surrender, have you? There we go, let's look at the logs here. So, game save, calculating a medal, castle collapsing, stage 3. So stage 3 is when the castle is falling down. Go through that iteration quite a bit. Eventually it comes to back to the 1. I don't know where the he's still strong, waving the flag after all those bricks. Yeah. Still there. The world has the rock, we got the brick. Yeah, the game, if you're using keyboard controls or even like, as long as you're not using the on-screen controls, you can still throw stuff at them. Whether I want to keep that in, I don't know. Brick is eating, not cooking here. Yeah. I want to change this texture because it's basically like a grey dome to match the colour of the bricks, to kind of give the illusion that it's a pile of bricks. In fact, it's a grey dome with a layer of bricks. So it kind of cuts down the amount of objects loaded in the scene. So allowing the player to throw rocks at the pile of bricks kind of breaks the illusion, I suppose, in some ways. Plus the rocket stuck there. There we go. The code basically looks at if the rock collides with the ground, it then resets and the player can throw it again. Right, so go to the next level. Ah, the controls aren't working here. So how come that's just not working now? Is that dome a static mesh? Maybe a displaced mesh with a broken brick texture. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, just put the texture on it. So it's the dome gets, it's basically just a static mesh of a dome. It's just a dome, but for the purposes of making level creation easy, I kind of resize it to fit the level. Does that make sense? So if the building's wider, I'd make the dome wider, and the bricks kind of spawn to cover the dome. So I literally just place the dome. The code goes, okay, how much area does this dome cover? And then it'll just put the bricks on top. So any texture I put on that dome will have to look fairly good once it's been stretched or contracted a little bit, but the size isn't going to be vast. The difference in size not going to be vast. It's not going to be that huge to small. But if I can get the texture to kind of get a texture to be the same size and fill the dome, no matter how big the dome is. I'll have to have a look into that. Probably like resize the texture. Dome can be displaced instead of smooth, round, curved shape. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to, I want to do something a bit more interesting with that. That's kind of a polish. Okay, so we've encountered the control bug. Like when you add noise modifier to a mesh in Blender, make it bumpy. Ah, yes, yeah. That's a very good point. I should have to make a building rubble mesh in Blender that I can just put into here. Because a lot of this was made before I started learning Blender. And I thought, oh, cool, dome, sorted, next thing. I started learning Blender and I can actually make different shapes now. So there's a few things I want to go back for, like these trees. I could probably make a better tree myself now. But to be honest, these tree meshes aren't bad. I just want to rewrite their animations, or recreate their animations to be a bit better. So what are we missing? There's this error up here, which I think is probably not helping. Input module. You know what? Make it procedural joke. I wonder how hard that would be, like making mesh with code. It'll be interesting. So the bricks, the bricks that are sat on the dome are effectively procedural. The whole pile was procedural until it lagged so hard from me having to make an actual pile of collidable bricks. I was not happy. So hence I went for the middle ground and made a static dome with a layer of bricks. Maybe random scale and rotation of the trees, yes. Yeah, maybe sort of, because at the moment the trees are just literally copy paste. I just take the one tree, copy paste it around. But maybe upon spawn of the tree, it chooses a slight different kind of look to them. Smart optimization, yes. So I wonder if, let's have a look at these controls, because these were working before. These were working before I actually made a demo, and now they're not working even now. So I'm very confused. Very confused. Scenes. Go to level. Oh, we're on level 1. So we have keyboard controls. Mouse and keyboard and mouse by default. Auto switch. What's that about? By default, when there is a single player input, the player is allowed to freely switch between control schemes simply by starting to use a different device. By toggling this property off, this behavior is disabled, and even with a single player, the player will stay locked into explicitly selected control scheme. Note they can still change control schemes explicitly through the player input API. Okay, so we want to keep that ticked. That tick box basically says if you plug a controller in, just start using a controller. So we got by default mouse and keyboard or whatever comes up. Input module. So invoke Unity events. So that looks okay. As I load up level 2. Default map. This might be the issue then. Was it player? Default map player. Go back to level 1. Save changes. Yes, so default map is player. So that might be what the issue was, but I'm sure. Why did that not work before? Go to level 3, keyboard controls, player there. So maybe by the time we get to level 3, the controls would work again. Why is the input a game object in the levels? That was the way that they originally did it. I think they've changed it now, so you don't have to have an object. But you have to, originally you had to have a host object. That would kind of hold it, but now the player controls just exist. So this is kind of like an in-between. So I do want to finish converting it so it doesn't need this, and that means level to level the settings will remain the same, not me having to set them per level. Having them set per level, I could see there being a benefit, but you can do it better ways now. But yeah, I want to, because what it's telling me here in this warning message is basically, well, you don't need it as an asset anymore. Why do you still have it as an asset in your scene? Strange, yeah. Yeah, the old control system. The old control system was replaced several years ago. But I've only just, in the last couple of months, started looking at the new control system. Because Unity will deprecate it completely. So you can't use the old control system. But that's coming in the next version. So the next version in Unity, they're looking to switch it off. So I need to replace this anyway. But yeah, it means you could have differences level to level. So it's not great. Project-wide actions asset is not recommended to be used with player input because the singleton reference and all the action maps are enabled by default. So yeah, so Unity's warning me here. So why have you put it into this? So I've made like a Frankenstein hybrid. So yeah, I'll change that. because I don't want to make any more levels until I've changed this. That means level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 won't need to have a keyboard control host. It will just do its thing. Bug Junkie, how's it going, MH? Good to see you. I tried to put my going live message as Bug Space Junkie, and Twitch shouted at me for using sort of unrecommended language. Put it lightly. I mean, I have had very, very, very special edge cases where global keybinds hindered me. Though I forgot about Bug Junkie. Yeah. Good, you? Yeah, doing well indeed. Glad to hear you're doing well. But yeah, on Twitch, the word junkie is considered to be offensive, or against kind of their communication guidelines, which came into sort of into rule after my account was created. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's how it's even letting you guys even type the word junkie in chat. Yeah, I wanted to say, well, because I can't even, because my DJ name is DJ Hug Junkie, and I used to title my streams like DJ Hug Junkie, sort of with a sort of mix with a date or something. But Twitch says nope, you cannot have that as a stream title. It contains the word junkie, and junkie is a bad word. You go, it's got bad connotations. The word itself's not bad. So I looked up the original meaning of the word junkie is somebody who sells junk for money. That's what a junkie is. They just sell junk for money. Which people who needed money for illegal substances would typically sell junk to get the money. But that's not to say everyone who sold junk for money was buying certain things. Yeah, it's dumb. Understandable though, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of how words evolve. And so certain words no longer can be said because of what they've been associated with. Substances. Tasty, tasty substances. But yeah, I still stick. I know my name is a play on sort of the substance acquiring, but my substance is hugs. So I'm quite happy to sell junk for hugs. What? There's a DJ I follow called Vinyl Junkie, and I guess he's just a real big fan of vinyl, which is quite good for a DJ, I suppose. I was just intaking a fairly delicious substance earlier. Well, it is Friday. It was broth with noodles. Ooh, best kind of substances. Not had a good broth and noodles for ages. I don't tend to eat noodles very often. I think last time I had broth and noodles was from my friend and channel mod, Max. Went out to an Asian restaurant and sort of went, "Ooh, we'll have the ramen." It's very nice. Top 10 substances. Number 3 is broth. There's a few people I can speak to that would agree with you. Last substance was through my nose. It was some thick dust from an old PC fan. Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, I absolutely hate dust. Anytime I go to sort of clean my PC out, I have to kind of take it near an open window or door and just kind of blow it out. It does not sit well with me. My respiratory systems have a hard disagree about dust. Oh yeah, for the first time in my life, I was drinking something and started laughing, and it shot out my nose. It burns so bad, yeah. I think I've only ever done that once in my life. But yeah, anything fizzy really gets the nose. But then your nose is not used to having things go through it that isn't air-based. The worst thing I've had, sort of nose-related, was eating very strong English mustard, and then you breathe out sharply through your nose. That's quite an experience. Top says I think air is number 9. Like a good oxygen is quite good. Have you ever come across oxygen bars? I go to music festivals and occasionally have an oxygen bar. You basically just have like a little head sort of strap, and you have like scented air. You sit there and then you've got like a high oxygen concentration with scented air, and you sit there sniffing scented air, and you kind of feel invigorated for a high percent oxygen. Can't remember how long you have to pay for to get some scented air. Did it once, it was quite nice, but it's expensive to pay for air, which is a weird thing to think about, sort of buying air. There's a sweet powder that you're supposed to suck up through a straw, and one day I sucked it up and my nose burnt extremely. Oh! Yeah, sweet powder isn't nice. Well, it's only number 9 if it's room temperature. If it's too hot or cold, it's not on the list. It needs to be perfect, kind of average human room temperature. I don't know about you all, but I can't live without oxygen. It's so good. That sounds kind of weird, yeah. Evening, buddy in chat. How's it going, Max? Good to see you, dude. Just mentioned ramen. Big fans of ramen. The last time I had ramen was for your birthday. It's weird that we pay for water already. We don't need to pay for air too. True. Yeah, it's one of those kind of dystopian things, isn't it? Where you think eventually you start having to pay for air like you have water. Anyone tried Arabic coffee? I have not, no. I don't mind a bit of coffee, but I only tend to drink very commercialised stuff. But I suppose in some ways you're kind of paying for air when you need to inflate your tyres on your car, but you're more paying for the pump as opposed to the air itself, because the air is just coming in from the outside through the pump and into the tyre. So you are kind of paying for the air, but you're paying for the service of pumping it into your tyre. I'm at my first boss. Nice. I'm addicted to oxygen, to be honest. It's quite a... It's one of those things that you just, once you've got a taste of it, you just can't stop having it. All high in oxygen, yeah. I like the oxygen junkie. I like the like the theory, like the joke theory that oxygen is actually poisonous to humans, but it just takes about 80 years to kill you. Oxy Junkie. Ooh, that's a good play on the words. Because oxytocin is a hormone associated with hugs. And also associated with oxygen, of course. So the oxy from oxygen, the oxy from oxytocin. But certainly not oxycontin. Because that's a sort of documentary on that. It's not good stuff. Doing good, Max. Good to hear. Bug hormone? You love bugs. You're a bug junkie. Well, I'm going to give this a quick test. I would just, as I say, I still want to fix that, but let's go back to level 1. But yeah, I am fascinated by bugs. Not as much to be a collector or anything. But oxyhydrogen, highly explosive mixture of oxygen and hydrogen. Ooh. Castle. Yeah, it's crazy to think that sort of what we breathe and what's all around us in the right mixtures is basically just explosion waiting to happen. Is the theme for 2026 just replacing Hug in Hug Junkie with anything else? It seems so. I can't wait for 100% live speedruns when found the speedrun tech to get infinite money and stuff. Yeah, we just need an infinite money glitch for life, really, don't we? Anything junkie. Be a life junkie. I found an app that lets you make AI generated games called Poppit. Ooh. Interesting. I might have come across that before. Next level. Yeah, control still works. So I think we might have found what was stopping the controls from working. Projectiles, I've now unlocked that. Cool, that still works. Ah, lovely. We've got a ricochet. I still like the idea of adding a points system. That even though you've unlocked the projectile in this listing, you've unlocked it for purchase as opposed to unlocking for use. But it's something like a version 1.1 I'll think about for that. Because it still isn't version 1 yet. But maybe version 1.1 I'll put a point system in where you can unlock these features. So it makes you go, okay, I have to hit 10 trees to unlock a special thing, for instance. A couple of days ago, I wondered how zippers work. Next Veritasium vid, we made a giant zipper to see how it works. I saw that in my, because I follow Veritasium, I like their videos. I actually saw that on my homepage before I went live. Things like zippers, that it's, you don't really think about it as an innovation in kind of a technology, but a zipper is a piece of technology that has kind of changed a lot of things. But you just don't think about it. You just kind of put clothing on, pop the zipper, up it goes, and you just get on with your day. It's just taken for granted. You put your idea into the generator, and it makes it in under 5 minutes. I'll share the 2 I've made already in Discord. Oh, cool. Please do. Interesting to see how it comes out. Very good for prototyping, I suppose. Might be kind of gives you something and you look at it and go, okay, I like that concept, I'll develop it. Because I'm not completely against AI, but only for things like a stepping stone. Because rather than go, well, AI does the whole job, and go, well, AI gives me a foot up towards where I want to go, and then I do the rest of the work. Certainly a good tool for that. Hate when I think about something for a few days ago, then actually someone mentioned exactly what I thought about, like zippers. I'm not against AI, I just don't like how we got the AI. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of AI models and engines are just fed other people's work. And go, cool, here's an amalgamation of other people's work molded into what you wanted to do. That's what I say. So as long as you're not selling the result or saying the result is your final thing, then I can't see a problem with it. Like, yes, so those people's works are going uncredited, but as long as you don't use it in a sense that you would naturally have to credit that person if you did it yourself, like you took their ideas and their things, put it into something, you would have to credit them. But you can't, because you don't know what piece of art the AI actually used to produce that final result. And the people who make the AI aren't able to even put that feature in, because a lot of AIs are black boxes. You just feed it a load of information, it comes out with something, you just don't know what it picked. I saw Amazon make senior devs review junior devs and AI pulls requests because they laid off 30,000 employees. So dumb. That is. When companies feel that AI can replace a good portion of their workforce, then they're kind of causing issues there. And I can understand automation. Automation, no matter what it is, whether it's AI or any other low-tech machinery, will replace jobs. Like car manufacturing, for example. We've automated a lot of car manufacturing that people don't have to sit there and screw in individual screws into a car. A machine puts panels together. And that's sped up production. But there's still people involved in that whole process. They still have to quality check. They still have to monitor the production line. But yeah, a lot of AI stuff doesn't really require many people to operate. We have to start to be humbled with AI. At my current job, without it, I might be fired. Ooh. That's crazy, yeah. We use AI at work. It's built into all Microsoft projects now. So people who use Microsoft Outlook for their email, it can recommend stuff for you. I use Visual Studios, so obviously with Unity here, and with my projects at work. And Microsoft have integrated Copilot, which is got the back end system of ChatGPT 5, I think. So that kind of looks at what you're doing and goes, okay, I can see what you're doing. may I make the following suggestions? You go, cool. Thanks, Copilot. I'll use your suggestion. Or actually, no, that's not the direction I was going. And you just ignore Copilot. It doesn't do the work for you. It just kind of goes, hey, may I provide a solution for you? It's basically a bigger, smarter version of Clippy from the old Microsoft Office. Did you just say chat GDPS? GDP junkie. No, you heard correctly. I keep getting the letters mixed up. It's GTP, isn't it? GDP is the rate at which things grow financially, isn't it? I heard that too. Sound like it? You like it? Yeah, I think GDP is the rate of financial growth. So in my head, it keeps getting mixed up. Come on, just want that one there. Too high again. Yay, got it. Okay, over here. There's some hints. It's just that top corner we want to get. Oh, it's stopped. Gross domestic product junkie. Let's remove the product and make it gross domestic junkie. GD junkie. Yeah. I like it. Has it crashed the whole of Unity? It has. Interesting. Okay. Unity's completely crashed. Let's switch over to my camera while I fix this. Is this a physics engine going off again? Because that's what was breaking level 3. Yeah, I'm going to have to open up Task Manager. Cool. Let's end Unity. We don't got Unity, we got Buggity. My jokes are bad. Yes, please reload my last session as it was. But I found the reason level 3 was crashing on completion is that the physics engine was freaking out because I was trying to get it to do something in code and the physics engine was fighting against my code. So I had coded actions and the physics engine actions fighting it. It just went, no, we can't resolve this. So maybe that's happening with level 2 now for some reason. But we apply the fix to level 2. Right, switch back over to Unity. Doesn't take too long to load back up, which is good, I suppose. Scenes level 2. Unity doesn't have a physics engine, it has a physics bicycle paddle. It feels like that sometimes. Right, so I did. Let's go to the scene. So what I did, so at level 2 wouldn't have had the issue because there's a gap here, you see. What happens when the level is completed? The castle object shifts so many points to the right and then shifts so many points to the left. And it kind of wobbles back and forth. This kind of shakes. And because there's a gap here, doesn't have an issue. It's fine. I'm wondering whether that's too small of a gap and this building is colliding with this bush and it's causing issues, because that's a good gap there. That's a good gap. So that's what I'm wondering, if this bush is an issue. I'm going to shrink it a little bit. Increase the gap. So that's a reasonable gap there. That's a reasonable gap. Bush junkie. I have bush, unity, now too close to castle. Yeah, you can understand why the physics engine would freak out, because I can't move this to the bush. The bush is in the way. I'm getting a rebound kind of event happening. I can't rebound because the code is telling me not to rebound. I suppose I could turn the colliders off for so colliders are on, aren't they? Yeah, colliders down. So I could turn the collider off for the house. And that's all, that will fix most issues. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Disable the collision when it's done. Yeah. So let's go into this castle script here. Like, castle destroyed. Yeah. I think it's the... I call it castle wing script. So size code, yep. So enable collider, disable collider. Let's go into, because it's castle, the modules themselves have got castle hit script on there, so we can put it into here. So we got the collider script in there, the fixed update. We don't actually have anything here. I don't want to do a looping Boolean check. I could try and do another event. Event junkie. Well, I was younger, that would have been true. These days, not so much. Now, do I put it in here, or do I attach another script? Oh dear. Another script seems like bloatware. Yeah. Do have... So where's the events called? There. There they are. So we've got these events that are called. So we've got disable collider is called here for all castle wings. Now if I put another event I'll just throw random scripts. That's bad coding practice. Yeah. The best coding practice is to have one purpose methods and ideally one purpose scripts, because then you can just throw that script onto something and it just handles that one purpose, and it could be applied to many things and you're not kind of specializing too much. But at the same time, you don't want to break it down into too many smaller parts when some of them would naturally be combined anyway. So castle wing. So I basically want to apply these two. Actually, the start as well. Let's copy all of this to castle hit. This is the thing, I could put the castle wing script on there because this script has everything I want. Or I could copy the contents of it into here and have this script do the same as this script. Let's go to... So this is basically finding everything that is castle wings. Castle wings is everything that's called castle wing. So I could drop the castle wing script on there. And that means it's one bit of code that does the same thing. Having non-specialized script just makes it easier to make the game, but becomes a logistical nightmare. Yeah. If you can build a well structured set of mechanics, sort of individual scripts, and go, okay, it's generic enough that you can apply it to many things, but it's not too specific that you're not going to be using it elsewhere. In this case, I think I can get away with dragging castle wing onto here, because it doesn't take any inputs, doesn't take any values. It just runs when it's called. Be right back, okie dokie. Same here, castle wing. Now, the reason it's called castle wing, because I was dragging and dropping this script onto anything that surrounds the castle, as in the wings of the castle. Because these are... Now, is there a problem with it being... I suppose I can call them castle wings, actually. And then the script would not have to be changed. Yeah, let's do that. So, tagging these two buildings as a castle wing, even though they're not technically castle wing. They should... Now I've done this, they should really have a more generic name of like... I don't know, castle collider objects or something. But they're castle wings. So this script here will grab everything in the scene that is tagged as castle wing, make an array of them. And when it comes down to this for loop, it will loop around all these objects that are tagged with castle wing, grab the castle wing script from the object, and then put an event listener to run disable collider script on each of those objects. So in level 2, it'll go, I have two objects that are tagged as castle wing, come to the loop, go around twice, add the disable collider function from each object into the listener, and then once the level is complete, it will then trigger the disable colliders, and then castle will fall down. So by doing that, I don't have to write another single bit of code. I just literally drag some script onto here and tag these two objects. So that's a good use of one-purpose scripts. Now, as you say, it would get hard to manage if you have this entire properties window here, the inspector, full of different scripts. You go, well, which script is doing what? But if you have a couple of different scripts for different reasons, then that's not a bad thing. Like, because sometimes you'll have objects that need one script, ones that need the other script, and ones that need both scripts. But rather than duplicating the code, you know what, this script does this job, that script does this job. So we'll save that and give it a test. And we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to do the debug on that. And we can see the collider has been turned off. Excellent. Go play again. Huh. That's a bug. Nice. Play again. They're forever falling. So we'll need to have a look at that. There's a value that's not being reset. Because play again is supposed to reset all the values. One of the values isn't resetting. So it goes, oh, we're still in the state of the game being completed. Just keep making the castle falls down. But you can see what's kind of happening a bit clearer now without the smoke. There's eternal earthquake. Yeah, basically that rubble with the hand waving the flag is always there after you've seen it the first time. So it gets spawned, and then when you hit play again, that just hides. It's supposed to reset the building and then sort of allow you to play it again. But there's clearly a bug there. But we'll go to the next level. Controls are working fine. We'll cheat a little bit. Go to the castle holder. Castle. Hit the debug button. And go to the center, hit the debug button. Ah. It has indeed stopped and it has crashed. Okay. Switch back to my camera while I fix this again. It's a bit frustrating because this was all working fine. Made a demo. And I was like, no. Nope, it will not work. I will not do what you tell me. Unity 6.5 has been released. I'm still using 6.3. Back at Unity crashed. Yeah, we completed level 3 and it went, no. So we'll have a look at the colliders again. see if there's a relation to that being an issue. So we'll open up the project. Yes, thank you. We'll reload the cache. So by the looks of it, Unity have got their versions planned up to Unity version 6.7. Now this is 6.3 I'm using for this project. They've just released 6.4 and they've already got 6.5 planned. And they've drawn out for 6.6 and 6.7. So what I will do once I'm happy with how this game functions, I think I'll start a brand new project in the latest version and kind of migrate over the script and the objects and rebuild it in the newer version, because that means hopefully there's no kind of no background issues that are legacy hangovers from this project being made in an earlier version. Even though I've converted it to the latest version, converting something I feel still leaves a little bit of a hangover. Okay, so let's have a look at level 3, because that's where our issues were. No, it's not the canvas we want, it is the castle. So we tag these as castle wings. We'll drag over the castle wings script. Because yeah, that will just basically automatically within the system will just disable the collider once it's why not finish it in 6.3? Yeah, I could do and just kind of be done with it. I just feel there's probably bugs within the engine from converting it from an earlier version of Unity. Let's hold back on updating Unity. Yeah. So yeah, this was made on version. This game was originally started in a version before 6. I can't remember what version that was. Not Smokeholder, Castlewind. But yeah, this wasn't made in version 6. I converted it into a version 6. So I wanted the version 6 features. Which is why the input system is a Frankenstein, because it's from the old version of Unity, and I'm trying to use some of the new version stuff. Higgity, huggity, I cast buggity. Because my experience with game engines updating to the latest always breaks the project. Yeah. Yeah, as it is, there's no features I particularly need in any of the latest releases. But yeah, I don't want it to leave. I know you can install multiple different versions of the engine, but it's just nice to have all my projects in one version. So not having to keep version 6.3 installed and then 6.7 eventually. That's my only worry. But then you'll be forever migrating and upgrading to keep all your projects current. Especially with the semi-planned updates. Okay, so all 4 parts of the castle are considered castle wings now. The 2 walls either side of the castle are already castle wings. Or at least I hope they are, because I did set them. Yeah, castle wing, castle wing, castle wing, castle wing. So these 6 objects, upon finishing of the level, will all have their colliders turned off. So clear that. Save, we'll then play the level. So sound effects down. I saw a meme that was, you're an IT guy, you must have your own server. Me saying yes, knowing the server in question is a 2010 laptop motherboard with a stack of boxes. I laughed and realised it's my reality. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a server, but I want one. And I've already planned when I move in with my partner, we're having a server. We're going to put our collective media files on it and anything we want to run off our own machines. Because it just makes life a bit easier. Especially when we like to do things like play Minecraft. We can just host our servers on there. Always wanted a server, but don't know what to do with it. Yeah. Yeah, so especially dealing with servers at work, I'm pretty knowledgeable on maintenance now. It's crashed again. What is it not happy about now? Now the alternative, of course, is I just have the colliders off by default and see if that's the issue. If the colliders are off by default and it's still having a problem, it's not the colliders. I think that's the next step. Eliminate the fact it could be the colliders. Let's go back to camera. Because I can't... it made sense that it was the colliders before, because what else would actually make the whole engine kind of stop? So I was hoping I could just fix all the bugs today, because next Friday I won't be streaming. So I was hoping, okay, bugs fixed today, have a week off from doing any dev stuff, and then start afresh afterwards. If it was the colliders, it would just freak out. Yeah. Next Monday you're streaming? Yeah, Monday and Wednesday I'm still planning to stream. So Monday we'll be finishing Trine 3. I think we've only got 1 level left. But Trine 3 is so tedious in places. Going offline? Not just yet. We keep crashing Unity. There we go. We're going to do a quick test on it. Oh, big face normally offline, yeah. At the moment, big face means angry Unity. I was very angry today. That's not like you. What were you angry about? Right, we should play the level. I ordered game 3 weeks before release. They said... Still unknown. They said put it in the mail on Thursday, but they didn't. So I gave them 1 more day. Not among the mail today. Oh, that's annoying. I'm late. I sell emotes because I'm late. I'll give you a friend discount. Hey Lisa, you sell the best emotes, even with a discount. Got a text from a lady on the other side of the village. Basically, they delivered to her. Oh, well, that's annoying. Mail service the issue. Company sent on time. Oh. Me patiently waiting for Celtic Kamori to say something unhinged. But still, now I have it, yeah. Yeah, that happened with me at work a couple of weeks ago. We have it's a delivery service in the UK called DPD. I'm not sure they deliver in any other countries. But for work, I ordered two PC monitors. And it's sort of, we have our company name on the side of the building. We have the office number on the door of the office. So all that's on the delivery sort of sticker. And it's a big, where I work is on a big estate. There's lots of businesses, but it's split into an east and a west. There's an east and a west part of the estate with a big solar farm in the middle. So we've got like the east estate, solar farm, west estate. And I put on there, we're on the east estate. I sort of send them an email, go, well, it's been 3 days, where are these PC monitors? And they go, well, it's been delivered. Oh, can you show me a photo? And they just showed a photo of a load of boxes with my monitors sat on top of it, and like somebody's foot. And eventually worked out where it was delivered to. By kind of looking at some of the objects in the background, and then looking at all the other businesses on the same estate. And okay, because of the objects, it kind of looks like it could be this business. I went to that one and go, no, sorry, it's not us. But okay, I'll have a look at other businesses, and went to another one across the other side, and by luck they had it. But yeah, that was it takes about I want to say it takes about 5 minutes to drive to the other side of the estate from where my office is. So that was quite a trek. If I walked it would have been half an hour at least. The same here, though, trash. Got 4 CDs also in today, and tomorrow we'll get 6 CDs and a long sleeve. Nice. Yeah. The most used ones are Poster now, DHL, but sometimes it's UPS or DPD. Also not got much unhinged today. Was mostly tired today, being angry, getting my game, and watching my father's dog. Besides my own parents are at Jehovah's Witness wedding. Father hated every second of it. Oh. Had a great veggie burgers day. Happy. Also big party with Uno. Turned 3 today. Oh, he's big for a 3-year-old. Big 3-year-old doggo. He likes religion as much as me. Well, that's good. That's quite reassuring, I suppose. I also hated every second of the wedding when he told me about it. Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything too pleasant. As a guess, of course. Right, let's turn these colliders off manually, in case that script's not working. They put a sex talk in the speech? What? Since you know them, Jehovah's Witnesses wait till marriage. So where all others get it as a teen, they did it the way. Oh, so they go, okay, now you're married. That thing that everyone else who's not in this religion There's already ahead of you on understanding. Yeah, that's gonna be. A man has certain needs in a marriage, eh? Was how Jeffrey put it. That's insane, yeah. Always loves looking back through my code and feeling so proud of it. Oh, that's good, MH. Yeah, I've sometimes done that and go, well, wow, did I write this? This is quite good, actually. Jeffrey's father. Okay, yeah. I think she means yes. When Jeffrey's father. That is crazy, though, yeah. Since you're not there, yeah. Yeah, I don't know who was saying who to what to who, so it's all good by me. Right, see if we can crash Unity again. I've manually turned off the colliders. So if it's a collider issue, it shouldn't crash. Interesting. Manually turning the colliders off, the engine doesn't crash. So that to me says it could be a collider issue. The script isn't firing before the rest of it. Would be scary if it could quote. Okay. I have a feeling the event isn't triggering. It's either not triggering or it's not triggering before the rest of it happens. So does play again work? No. So we got a bug with the play again. Something's not resetting, which I think because I replaced some of the code. No way is a bald eagle outside. You got a bald eagle. That's pretty cool. Yeah, could I swapped who shaved the eagle's head? You listened to I did not listen to the Grand Call. I completely forgot. You know what I'm like. You anger me, I do. I do. I made it a personal pastime to anger you now. Monday we'll listen to it together on stream. Deal. It'll probably help get us through the last bit of trying free. You anger me less than Dutch mail service. That's good to know. No, I angered you more than the Dutch mail service. I think I've been in trouble. It's like that meme with the cat and the fan and it gets spoiled. Oh, like the meme with the cat and the fan, yeah. Right, that's the cold tea gone. But I did make it before the stream and it's been an hour and 40-ish minutes. Okay. So we've discovered the colliders are causing us issues. And that the code doesn't seem to be handling it. Well, if it helps us get through trying free, that means we only have 6 more minutes of the game left, which will be great, yeah. Kartik Kamori is going to make an entire album about Dutch mail service. Yeah, the next Grindcore album. Sort of complaining about the Dutch mail service. Maybe, yeah. You see, Afro Man. Afro Man has been making some interesting music videos based on his experiences, which I find quite funny. Makes sense. You're an artist. You're unhappy about something. Write about it. But yeah, fair play to Afro Man. So I would hate the police kind of just targeting me without just cause. Chuck Norris died today, yes. I said to my friend that he probably wanted to challenge the deities above, and that was the only way he could do it. Even 2026 was too much for Chuck Norris. Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, if you seem to be above everything, at least in meme form. He got to be 86. Respectable age, yeah. If I live to be 86, I'll be happy. That's at least double, if not more, my age. More than double my age right now. If I could just my life up to this point doubled again, that's quite a bit when you think about it. That's a lot of time. Saw a meme and it was like Chuck Norris visited death for a tea party. Yeah. My favourite one I saw today was when Chuck Norris installs Windows, Microsoft has to accept the terms and conditions. His last video on his Instagram is him training. Oh yeah, I heard about that. So even on that age, he's still trying to keep himself fit. Right, let's have a look at it's the only thing of having asynchronous scripts that you don't know the order that certain things fire off. When it was announced Chuck Norris was hospitalized, people said. He's caring for all the doctors and nurses at hospital. Yeah, I almost need. I'm thinking actually, depending on the. Surely, because I don't know for certain, but surely the order that events get added to the listener is the order they get fired in. I might have to Google that to be sure. News is hospital would make a full recovery. Chuck Norris built the hospital he was born in. I love the Chuck Norris quotes. The thing is, he fully embraced it as well. He fully embraced those kind of things. Because he knew how much of a joke it was to say that he, like in meme form, he was the greater of all things. Like the news on TV showed a clip of him in a movie where a Chuck Norris joke, it says. Imagine being so goated people make memes about praising you. Yeah. That's something you don't tend to see. A lot of memes kind of poke fun at different scenarios. So it's quite a rarity that a meme kind of makes somebody to be like greater in a fun way kind of thing. But yeah, a lot of memes are a joke with a kind of a negative towards things, because a lot of humor is kind of based around stuff that would normally put us down, but we find like something funny about it that will kind of lift us up instead. Chuck Norris isn't experiencing death. Death is experiencing Chuck Norris. Yeah. I remember I used to spend like ages just reading Chuck Norris quote websites. Let's just see the order these things go. The only way I'm going to see the order is if I put debug logs on everything. Debug. So we do that. So we'll know when the colliders get turned off. And let's have a look when the smoke is started. Starting smoke, yep, so that's already in there. Playing Castle Falls already in there. Castle hit we don't need to worry about because Castle hit only has the one job about the castle being hit. One purpose script, concise to the point. Sound effects, playing the sound effect, nothing else we need to worry about. This will change eventually. I don't know, keeping the pitch change. Because add to variation. I still want to add different sounds though. Game progress manager. I'm happy with that. We still need to check whether the game is saving and loading correctly, but that's a different bug entirely. Programmer has got to be the most successful lumberjack because all the .logs they use. I like it. That's a good one. I like a programming joke. If you're familiar with SQL servers and SQL databases, it pops up in my timeline, history timeline, the other day of a programming joke that I posted. This is an SQL query walks into a bar and up to 2 tables and asks, "Can I join you?" And that amuses me greatly. Yep, hate anything SQL related though. It's my day job. I get paid to deal with SQL. But then it's only the only real database I handle these days. I used to do a lot of Microsoft Access. So it's SQL Server is definitely a step up from Microsoft Access. Because Access uses SQL based scripting anyway. So it's just nice to use the actual proper server as opposed to pseudo kind of thing in a file. Joke so bad but so good at the same time. Yeah. There's a there's another joke I posted, but only works in text form. There's a few programming jokes that work in text form only. You can read them and you'd have to reimagine how it's written as you hear it for the joke to really be appreciated. If I can find it. No, I'll post it in the chat. There it is. Programmer Humor subreddit. I was in say. Can I type it? I suppose I can try typing it. Where'd you post it? I originally posted it on my Facebook, but I'll post it into I'll type it into. Well, actually, I can just put the link. I'll put the link into the chat, so you can have a read it from the Reddit link. Because it duplicates it in my bot. Yeah, if I had in text form, I'll post it into the chat. But I'm not sure if YouTube or Twitch would be happy with me posting pseudocode. It's kind of like a little bit of a poem as well as a joke. But I find that amusing because it rhymes. I say, so I could read it out, but it definitely looks better. The joke's not funny, me saying while dying of laughter behind the screen. It just tickles you in a certain way, doesn't it? Because it's not only is it a programming joke, it's got pseudocode and it's a small poem, so it ticks a few boxes. But the first time I read that, several must have been 6-7 years ago when I first saw that. Well, yeah, probably about this Reddit post was from 7 years ago. Yeah, I first saw it about 7 years ago. So it was probably floating around at that time. Somebody posted it on Reddit at the same time. So we all have that happening. So let's just test a theory quickly, because if this happens as I expect, I should see the colliders being disabled, the smoke starting, and then the sound effect playing. I should get that in the log down here to say these things are happening in this order. What I did want to do is these is it here? It's on the level complete. What would be useful is if I had all the events listed here and I could see what order they're in. I saw a comment that was like, this code is NSFW. Someone replied, not safe for world. Someone replied, that's a bad joke. I love the people like there's some bad people in Reddit, but Reddit in general just amuses me. Especially the chain after chain of kind of like sort of jokes and like meta kind of comments of it. Because I found a Reddit post amusing earlier today on the is it the LV426 Reddit subreddit, which is related to all things Alien, the Alien franchise. Somebody posted a photo of a xenomorph model, like an old xenomorph figure, but it had two left hands, like two left human hands on this figure. So why has it got human hands for starters, and why are they both left-handed? But it basically said the caption was, can anyone identify this figure? As in, where does it come from? Does anyone know anything about it? But because they said, can anyone identify this figure, half the comments were, I think you'll find that's a xenomorph. And I was not disappointed when I first saw that. Someone replied, "Oi, you didn't need to ram that into me." You don't know the double human lefties anymore. Clearly not. But no, is that... But I looked at him and okay, that's just a fairly cheap looking xenomorph. I go, hang on a minute, why has he got human hands and why are both of them left-handed? Is that but yeah, I scanned through quickly. I didn't see anyone actually legitimately commenting with any useful information towards the figure itself. Just stating the obvious. I still have 12 references. So at some point I need to remove these 12 references and replace them with event calls. And that will give me a better control over how these things are happening. Because at the moment, all these different bits here are basically checking a Boolean. And they could happen at any order, which is not great control. Oh, you can't see it on there. The pop-up doesn't show on OBS. I saw a meme of the left-handed people opening the fridge and smacking themselves with the fridge door, since it's made for right-handed people. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll pop it down here. There we go, you can see it down here now. So all of these calls here are checking to see the levels completed, and I can't guarantee what order these calls will be made in, which I think is going to be where some of my issues. So we've got Game Progress Manager. My younger sister isn't allowed to have pens. I lost my pen one day and asked if she took it. She comes out of a room with 2 pens, neither of them are mine. She somehow got some pen contraband. Isn't that why events would be better in this case? Yeah. So I want to convert all these to events, but I've only converted some, and these are the remainder. So I spent the weekend last weekend converting some of these to events, but this is what still remains. So you can see my problem, that all the script that was running on the game, on the level being completed, was based on the first script to call it was the first thing that executed, and that's not a good way to run it. So I think the only way to guarantee a fix would be to go through all of this, and rather than having the update function check, it needs to be an event call. But again, I was following old standards and old tutorials that said, oh, just do a check. If check is true, do a thing. In some cases that works. That works in some cases. But when it's this many things doing it, it certainly doesn't. So this is not a major issue, this one, because this is just saving your progress. It just takes the values that are kind of static in that level and then updates the global status. So this doesn't matter as such. Still would be beneficial to be an event, but it's not going to break anything. This is a thing that just happens and it has no effect on anything else. This is self-contained, so I'm quite happy with that. The second line is there, so that's the game progress manager. Level end, I think this is possibly where we have an issue. I discovered that Python has its own version of switch case statements and started abusing it. Nice. Have I actually tried doing a switch case? I don't think I have. No, I might have to look into it. Some of these scripts at work I use Python for, but I think it's a series of ifs I've got. So I'll look into switch case, and maybe that'll be a better way of doing things. Because I've written a Python script for a piece of hardware. It's basically a machine that you use to kind of clock in and out for work. So you just have a keypad, you type in your work number, and you either clock in or say you clock out. Match case. Ooh, okay, I'll look into that. That might be more efficient. I think on one stream you were working on switch case in the game. Yeah, I've used switch cases in C# quite a few times. I've not tried it in Python though. But yeah, I've got depending on what key you press, depends what happens. So it's only basically a check. So it's like if it's this key, do this, and it will fall to the next if statement. If it's this key, do this. But it'd be better off just taking the key into a switch statement and just doing a thing from that. I have a new cat story. I was holding my cat this morning and she was angry. I held her for a few more minutes since she wasn't mad to fight back, and looked down and she had fully fallen asleep. Aww. Match var case ABC colon case def colon. Okay, that doesn't seem too complex, because the if statements are basically just if something colon. So I can see that the syntax of that being quite easy to understand. Oh, cats just reject me completely. No. Yeah, my cat doesn't like to be picked up. Although he's tolerant as long as you have to support him just right. He's a big cat. He's probably about like this. We don't know his full lineage, but he's certainly got some kind of a larger cat breed in him. But the only thing with match case, it gets super indent heavy. Yeah, I might give it a go. That the if statements already got an indent on them, and it's probably easy to read for people that aren't so Python savvy. Which people who aren't Python savvy will have to read it. So I'll look into it for my own purposes anyway. My cat loves being howled like a baby. It's great. Oh, female cat likes licking my hair, which is nice and weird. Yeah, they're probably trying to groom you. It's supposed to be a good sign. If the cat grooms you, then they consider you to be of value in some way. But yeah, my cat, you have to kind of support him just under his front paws and just under his kind of hips. So you have to hold him like this, like you would a dog, I suppose. But there's a lot of cats you can just kind of scoop and carry it, and they're like, okay, I submit to you. Whereas mine, you have to kind of lift like a dog, and sort of you can put him onto things. He doesn't like climbing. He's not very good with climbing. But yeah, my partner's cats, Nix's cats, yeah, all three of them are okay with being picked up. One really doesn't care. One of the others, because there's three cats, Salem doesn't mind what you do. Magic is a bit, if I have to. And Sirius is like, who, what's going on now? But they all kind of deal with it. But Magic as a cat, he likes his personal space. The other two don't care so much. But Magic's like, well, I'm happy to be sharing an immediate area with you, but that is about as much contact as I'm willing to give you right now. Yeah, when he wants a bit more attention, he will sit next to me and look at me. And you can only fuss from the nose to the back of the head. He only likes to be stroked from there to there. No shoulders, no back. But from nose to the back of the head, that pleases him greatly, but nothing else. What we do, we've been streaming for just over 2 hours. Let's have a quick look at what could be problematic. The UI doesn't matter. The UI triggers in different order. Not going to be a big problem. Level timer. Timer update. Timer start. Timer triggering doesn't matter when the timer triggers. So some of this doesn't matter being asynchronous in this sense because they're not related. What's this one? Medal awards. Getting the medal awards. Again, it's its own thing. Doesn't really matter. That's all to do with the UI. What's this one? This is UI again. Doesn't matter. The UI has no bearing. Saying Batman is restricted by YouTube, like, bruh, what? And stroked isn't either. What? How weird. There's some weird rules on sort of streaming platforms. I know the word stroked could be applied to something that is not safe for work. But in itself, it doesn't carry that. So it's weird. So 20% coding, 80% talking to the comments junkie. Ah, you called me out there. Quite the long name you got there. Yeah. But it's descriptive. So that's a UI. That's still a UI. That's still a UI. So this actually is the right place for it. So eventually this is the only place I want to call this function is once the last square has been hit, then check as the level now been completed, invoked the event. So I think this is our problem. Typically the last one on the list. Castle is collapsing, which comes back to here. So I think this section here, this happening, I need to have control of when this happens, because this needs to happen last. At the very least, it needs to happen after the colliders have been turned off. So I could do with having this having this kind of set to an event. The rest of this will be tidy if I set these to events. This, however, needs to be an event call. So castle is collapsing. So this checks to see if the Boolean castle is collapsing. So this is a good use case of a Boolean check on a loop, because this section needs to be looped through on fixed update. This needs to happen on the loop, and only needs to happen when this is true. So this is the best use case for that. But this Boolean being set, I think this Boolean being set needs to be put under a under an event. It's character art time. Ooh, love character art. Right, let's have a quick look at how this could be an event, and then we'll wrap the stream up. So this will be our last thing we look at. So if castle's ready to collapse, is castle active? So is castle active? So where is that Boolean checked? So that checks whether the castle is currently visible. So if the castle is visible, then we want to set its castle collapsing is true. And once it's true, this happens. So we could probably build that into this process. So if get castle is collapsing is true, I could add this into the if statement to go and castle is active, as in, is that going to be putting too much? Because that's only checking a property, isn't it? Because you'll be checking the property on loop. So it's going to add a small bit of overhead, I'm guessing, to be constantly checking a property. Because the castle is collapsing is actually in the same place that the event's being called from. So this loop is in fact going over to that code, checking the Boolean, coming back, then sending back to that code to set another Boolean to come back to this code. So this should really be contained within game values. It should really be contained here and be part of this whole event call. So on level complete, it should set the Boolean, and then this will come through here. But it won't need to have these castle active, because the castle won't be active if that event fires, because the event will only fire at the end of the level. So I think we could probably bypass this entire section and set the Boolean here. So set castle is collapsing. So effectively I could just do this. What's happening here? Something's happening. It's gone a bit skew-if there. Okay, so that will then set that Boolean as true. Which for me, just say that this entire thing does not need to be ran. Castle is collapsing, and then this point here will set it to false, and then that will stop that from looping. We'll give that a quick test. Do a quick build on there as well. Make sure there's no dodgy code. Yeah, it's happy. Right, we'll give this a quick test, and then we'll wrap the stream up. Cool. Cool. 5 wings have been added. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, and 0. Cool. Make sure that's saved. Give that a run. Because the less it has to loop around and keep running, the better it's going to be. Yeah, Buggety crashes. I'm going to start a protest. I'm still going to manually set the colliders off. So manually turn these off now. So I want to see this kind of happen. I want to see it run through and do its thing, and without worrying about the colliders giving me issues. So set the 2 towers as complete. So it still ran through, did the event, still did those things. What I would like to actually get rid of is it still looping round saying castle's collapsing. Not a major thing, but I want to reduce the amount of loops that it has to do. But I'll say that's a pretty good success. What we will need to fix is this play again button, because... Oh, okay, yeah. That seems to have fixed this, but it's not fixed that. So I need to look at the events. That castle has the smoothest moves. It fell for us. Yeah. Jokes are bad. We like the bad jokes here. If you look back in my YouTube channel, I've got a couple of shorts with some bad jokes. But we're going to do a whole series of bad jokes. Still got some in the editing setup ready to go live, but it's been like that for about a year. Right, I'm happy with that, but I think what we need to do to actually fully achieve what I want is going to be longer than what I can do tonight. So I'll probably do a little bit off stream. And if I get it to a point where I'm happy with the bugs, I'll put another demo out. So keep your eyes peeled on my Discord, and I'll put that on. Let's switch over to my camera. A joke so bad it robbed a bank. The things in the editing setup fermenting, yeah. People have changed dramatically since the original recording was made. Okay, see you next time. Thank you, MH. It's good to see you. Thank you for the stream. It's epic as always. See you next time, indeed. Yeah, I'll work on some of these extra bits. Now I know kind of what's happening. I'll work on our stream. Because I say, yeah, no stream next Friday. I'm going out to a metal gig. A local metal gig with local bands. Which is something that this town has not had for years. So I'll post about that probably, if I remember. But have a good weekend. Yes, thank you all for being here. Stream was epic as always. Still sell emotes, still sell the best emotes. Alright, it's good to see you. Catch you on the next one. Indeed, good night. Enjoy the stream. Remember, Lisa sells emotes and likes spicy water. Sorry, was lurking. That's all good, Cobbler. But yeah, thanks all for being here. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. I see those awesome names on the list there. I appreciate you. But yeah, I will be back on Monday. We'll finish Trine 3. Kicking and screaming. And Wednesday we'll do some more Blender. And Friday, as I say, I won't be streaming. So no stream next Friday. But we'll do some more Unity the Friday after. Until then, have a good weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Whatever you have left. Have a good rest, and I'll see you Monday. Good night.